Hey everybody, I'm Pastor Bill from Open Door Baptist Church in Morehead City, and thanks for coming back for another word of encouragement. These are weekday videos, as you know, that we're putting out during these days of difficulty and disruption to help us all to get our eyes and ears off of being attuned to the world's message around us and putting it back onto God's words of encouragement in the Bible. And today we are going to take a look at a wonderfully encouraging passage coming out of the book of Hebrews. Hebrews, where we see over and over again that Jesus is greater. Jesus is exalted. He is the higher. He is the greater. We see that over and over again in Hebrews. And now coming to Hebrews chapter 2, beginning in verse 10, we read this. For in bringing many sons to glory, it was entirely appropriate that God, all things exist for him and through him, should make the source of their salvation perfect through sufferings. For the one who sanctifies and those who are sanctified all have the same Father. That is why Jesus is not ashamed to call them brothers, saying, I will proclaim your name to my brothers. I will sing hymns of you in the congregation. Oh my, this passage lays down such a word of encouragement for our souls today, beginning with even just with the thought that God is in some way, some mysterious way, he's bringing Jesus to perfection. Now we know that that's not a moral perfection because Jesus already had perfection. He was perfect in every way, but it's the sense of perfection, of completeness. In other words, there was a task that Jesus had to accomplish, and that task was perfected. It was brought to completion, his work, and in that sense, that lacking that Jesus had, in a sense of lacking the completion of his work, he was brought to perfection through sufferings. And so right now, if you feel like you are suffering today or over this last year, have you suffered? Do you feel like you're carrying that suffering with you? Then look to Jesus, the author and perfecter of your faith, who is himself in some sense being perfected through sufferings. Even he, the source of your salvation. But then he goes on to even a greater height to say that Jesus is not ashamed to call you his brother. Because the greatest thing, the most amazing thing here is that both you and Jesus have one Father. God the Father. And so now we stand at his invitation and through his salvation, shoulder to shoulder with brother Jesus, as he says to God the Father, I have brought your name in exaltation to my brothers. Oh, just bask in that today. Are you suffering? Look to Jesus because he also was perfected through suffering. Are you feeling weak and maybe ostracized or on the outside? Look to Jesus. He calls you brother because you have a Father in his Father, God the Father.